Good morning, everyone. I am Juliana Mariveber, and together, let us discover the rich and vibrant cultures of the indigenous peoples or the indigenous communities in the northern Philippines, where centuries-old traditions, language, and beliefs continue to shape the heart of their mountain communities. But first, let's have our table of contents. In this presentation, we're going to discuss first the introduction, wherein we have the overview of the indigenous peoples in the Philippines, as well as their geographic distributions. Next, we have the Igorots. And lastly, we have the six ethnic groups of the Igorot. But first, let us find out who these indigenous people are. I'm sorry. They are actually a group of people who shares common bonds of language, customs, traditions, and other distinctive cultural traits, and who have, under claims of ownership since time immemorial, occupied, possessed, and utilized that territory. So I know all of us are already familiar with indigenous people. You may have known some of them personally. We're going to learn more about them, especially the IPs or the ICCs living in the northern part of the Philippines. In our indigenous people, there are two main ethnic groups. We have first the Igorots, next is the Lumads. The Igorots are those indigenous people who resides in the north, and the Lumads are those who reside in the south or in the Mindanao. But we're going to focus more on the Igorot tribe. So who are the Igorots? The Igorot is actually derived from the prefix E, which means people from, and Golot, which means mountain, to literally mean people from the mountains. They make up 99% of the population in Cordillera region. With regards to their religion, the Igorot practice a native religion often called animism, an anthropological term referring to the belief that spirits permeate the material world. They also celebrate Kanyao or Kanyao as thanksgiving to their god or Kabunyan. Kabunyan is regarded as the ultimate creator and source of life, overseeing the animate spirits in the animism religion. A Kanyao is believed to be a pagan religious feast and service during which the native butcher pigs, chickens, and even carabaos or other animals as a form of Thanksgiving offering to their god Kabunyan. Next, we have their language and art. Some of the prominent Igorot languages include the Kankane, the Ibaloy, Ifugao, Ilocano, Isnag, Itneg, Kalanguya, and Balangao. In terms of their art, the traditional Igorot wood carvings were only limited to human figurines like the Bulol and the Tinagtago, which is shown in the picture. Aside from wood carvings, Igorot are also great weavers. They are master of textile craftsmanship, employing a variety of techniques such as backstrap weaving and ikat dyeing. These textiles are used for traditional clothing such as the banog, costume, and household items such as blankets and bags. As you can see here in the picture, finished textile are usually features intricate geometrical patterns that shows or reflects the cultural significance woven into the fabric. Next is their traditions. At the heart of Igorot culture lies a profound tradition known as Balinadang. And this is equivalent to the Tagalog term, which is the bayanihan, wherein they do good things without expecting in return. Aside from that, they also practice the concept of ban, which means signifying the act of holding back or preventing individuals from harming living and non-living things, which is actually rooted, this Inayan culture is actually rooted to their animism religion because they believe that the spirits, all material in the material world have spirits, and they don't want to disrespect them. And it is actually influenced by their reverence and fear of the Kabunyan, which is their god. Next, we have the six main identified groups of the Igorot tribe. First, let's have the Bontok. So the Bontok people is as shown in the picture. The Bontok meaning mountain refers to the people who share close linguistic and cultural similarities and originate from Bontok. Also, main source of livelihood is to carve rice paddies out of the mountains, which is related to their essential economic activity, which is the wet rice agriculture. With regards to their culture and tradition, we have the unique body tattoos, particularly for warriors, are a form of personal art and cultural identity. And in their tradition, in the interreligious relations are determined by the pechen or pedin, or the peace pact, which just which simply means an alliance within different tribes in their place. Next, their concept of justice is based on retribution, which in the past centered on headhunting. So before, they don't have like the jurisdiction of the court like we have today. For example, if someone murdered a person or your relative, the male relative of that person should go out for revenge and headhunt the people responsible of the murder or any members of the village. And if they don't do it, then they will get ridiculed and contempt by the village if they fail to do so. We actually have here pictures of the examples. Pictures of their traditions. First, in the picture, we have the manner rap, which is defined as a rain dance to the god Kabunyan to open the skies and bring rain to water the rice terraces. So before, they used to do it on caves and mountains. But next, on the second picture, we have the Bontok house called Afong, which is different from the houses of the other Igorot tribes because this is not elevated. Next we have are the Ibaloy people. The name Ibaloy is derived from Ipaway, the term used by the Kalanguyas, which means those who live in the grasslands. So, in the Ibaloy mythology, the origins are traced back to a couple who survived a great flood sent by Kabunyan a date in their beliefs. According to them, the origin of their tribe came from the, like I said, the couple who survived the flood, and they have children, and then those children married each other, and then multiplied, and there goes the Ibaloy tribe. Next, their arts and crafts. These include the pottery, wood carving, and intricate basketry. And then in their tradition, one of the Ibaloy tribe's unique tradition is also called mummification. So let us see the pictures. This ancient burial practice involves preserving the deceased's physical form to prevent decomposition through a carefully guarded process. So among the most renowned mummies in the Ibaloy culture are the Apo Ano mummy, which is seen here in the first picture, and the fire mummies on the second picture. So in the third picture, we can see here the potteries that were made by the Ibaloy people, and the fourth picture is the textiles woven by the Ibaloy people. Next. Next, we have the Ifugao tribe. The term Ifugao is derived from Ifugo, which means earth people, mortals or humans as distinguished from spirits and deities. They reside in the municipalities of Lagawe, the capital of Ifugao, Aguinaldo, Alfonso Lista, Asipolo, Banawe, Hingyun, Hundan, Kiangan, Lamot, Mayoyaw, and Tino. Their way of life is intricately tied to these terraces, often referred to as one of the world's wonders. So we all know what these terraces are, which is the Banawe rice terraces. Next is their men typically wear a loincloth known as wano. On the other hand, women wear a wraparound skirt referred to as ampuyo or tapis. And one of the famous forms of Ipugal oral tradition is the hudhud. First, we can see here the examples of the pictures of their life. First, we have is actually the punok ritual, which happens every year in the Cordillera Mountains of Luzon, which is known to held to celebrate the end of the rice harvest season. As you can see here, they are actually Ifugao people who are playing tagubor. This is to cleanse the souls and spirits. And the last picture is the Banawe rice terraces. Next, we have the isneg. The term isneg derives from a combination of is meaning receive and uneg or interior. Thus, it means people who have gone into the interior. The isneg, or also known as Isnag or Apayo, live at the northwesterly end of northern Luzon in the upper half of the Cordillera province of Apaya. And actually, the main product here of the Isneg people is rice, and they cultivate this through session bird agriculture. Next is the spiritual world of the Isnag is populated by more than 300 anito or spirits, who assume various forms. There are no gods or hierarchical deities in the other world of the Isnag, only good or bad spirits. Their tradition is also rich in folk riddles. They have stories and fables that explains events and phenomena, and the relationship between people and their surroundings, or which are simply meant to be humorous and entertaining. Aside from that, the Isnag people also practices polygamy, but not polyandry. So the housewife is like the mediator of the marriage for both of the couple. Here is their ancestral house, and the second picture is actually the Kanyal celebration, which is a celebration to give offering and thanksgiving to their gods. Next is the Kalinga. The Kalinga people are believed to have migrated to the Cordillera region of the Philippines more than 2,000 years ago. Their culture is known for the intricate body art, traditional clothing, and music. The people of Kalinga are famous for their intricate tattoos, which are considered a sign of bravery and status. Their traditional clothing of Kalinga men includes a bahag, a loincloth made from woven fabric or animal hide, and a turban or headscarf. Women wear a long sleeve blouse called abado, which is often embroidered with intricate designs and patterns. The blouse is worn over a skirt called atapis, which is also brightly colored and adorned with embroidery or beadwork. These actually in the tattoos in the Kalinga people are often found on the arms, legs, chest, and face, and are believed to have magical powers that protect the wearer. Here are the pictures for these. And their traditional tattoo, also known as batok, is done using a thorn and a bamboo stick. The designs are intricate and unique to each individual and are seen as a symbol of beauty, courage, and strength. As you all know, Apo Wangod is also a part of the Kalinga tribe. She is a legendary tattoo artist from the Kalinga province of the Philippines. She is known for her traditional tattooing skills and has gained worldwide recognition for her artistry and contribution to the preservation of Kalinga culture. Lastly, we have the Kankane. The Kankane people, also known as Kankanay, Kankanay spelled with an I or Kankanay, primarily reside in Benguet and Mountain Province within the Cordillera Administrative Region of the Northern Philippines. The Cancanay people are actually divided into two main groups, which is the Northern Cancanay and the Southern Cancanay. Unlike the Northern, they have like the Supreme Being, which is Kapunyan, and the Northern Cancanay only believe on Anitos and ancestral souls. The first picture is actually the statue of their Anito. The second picture is their funeral practices, which includes what do you call this? The hanging coffins in the Sagada. The coffins crafted in small size to accommodate the deceased in a fetal position, adhering to the belief that departing souls should leave the world as they entered. However, this is not a widespread practice in the Kalkani tribe, as this is only exclusive for people, for leaders who have demonstrated exceptional merit, wisdom, and leadership throughout their living. And actually, the most common burial is putting the coffins in limestone caves because they believe that by doing it this way, they allow the spirits to roam free and continue to protect the living. And the last picture is their traditional is a celebration which is also Kanyao, and they are dancing their traditional dance, which is the Ayaw or the Kamida Patong and the Balamba. I think that's all. The summary: the indigenous people of the Philippines consist of two main groups, the Igorots in the northern region and the Luman in the south. The Igorots, meaning people from the mountains, have a rich cultural heritage involving unique languages, traditions, and spiritual beliefs, particularly animism, a belief in spirits inhabiting the material world. They practice traditions like Anyao and Binadang, and also the art includes wood carving and weaving. Aside from that, it is also discussed that the Igorots are divided into six main groups, particularly with first we have the Bontoc people. They are known for their wet rice agriculture, their tattoos, and the peace pact system. Their justice system was historically based on retribution, including head hunting. Second, we have the Ibaloy, which is famous for their mummification and skilled in pottery, wood carving, and basketry. Third is the Ifugao, renowned for their rice terraces and food epics. They wear distinctive clothing like the Wana for men and Puyo for women. Next is the Isnag people. Their belief system revolves around spirits and they have rich oral traditions of riddles and fables. Next, we have the Kalinga people, known for their body art or tattoos, intricate clothing, and their warrior culture. And lastly, we have the Kankanay, divided into northern and southern groups. They believe in spirits and practice symbolic funerary rituals like the hanging coffins. Each group maintains a deep connection to nature's spirituality and communal traditions. We have here the references if you want to dig deeper on these topics. I guess that's all for today. Thank you so much.